and welcome to the Rakuten UK podcast. This is the third one we've done so far, and today it's going to be on shipping options and just some sort of top tips and reminders of what to do with the shipping options once you've got access to your Rakuten account. My name's Callum, I'm with the MSA team, and today I'm joined by Luke Parker. Luke, if you just want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Luke. I'm also on the MSA team, so I help merchants get set up with Rakuten UK.
Brilliant. Okay, so today, as I say, we're going to be looking at the shipping options and really give just a sort of a brief overview of some top tips for you to remember when you're setting them up. So I'm going on the assumption that you've had your onboarding call and you've had the shipping options been gone through with you with your MSA, whoever that may be. So I'm not going to go into detail because you should have had them explained already. It's just today's going to be really about some top tips and reminders of things that you should do and could possibly do. So if you haven't had your onboarding call and all this sounds foreign to you and some of the terms that we're going to be using don't make any sense, there's either one thing you can do, which is wait for your onboarding call and go through that and then listen to this back, or you can go to our Academy website, which has got all guides on there to help you sort of make the most of your Rakuten account. And you can find that at academy.rakuten.uk.com. So yeah, basically, shipping options, why do you need them? What do they do? Self-explanatory in the name, really. Shipping options are for you to set up how you want your items to be shipped to your customer and base that on the price as well. So customers can come along to your site, they can buy from you, and then they can have a choice of shipping options. Maybe you just do free shipping, maybe you have a variety of different sort of first class or second class different delivery options. This is really where you can set all those up. So when you are setting those up, you'll first be presented with the basic details, and that'll be the name and the description of your shipping options. And it's really best to sort of keep them as detailed as possible. Give the customer all the information that you want given.
Yeah, so I'll say the first thing you want to bear in mind when you're creating a shipping option with regard to the name is to keep it simple and straight to the point. So for instance, if you're doing free UK shipping, put that as the first part of the name. So free is such a big incentive for people to buy from you. Obviously, I would definitely recommend that to be the first word in that name, because when people are going through various products, they might just be looking out for products with that free shipping. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. And then also with the name, if you do charge for shipping, I would explicitly say that in the name as well. So say if you charge $2.99 for shipping, then you could just put the name as standard UK delivery or standard UK shipping, and then put the price also in there so that customers aren't surprised when it comes up showing that there's an actual cost involved in the shipping.
Yeah, I think that's actually really important. I actually sort of thought about this and went through this with a merchant the other day. I apologise, I can't remember who it was. But the thing with the price is when the customer will only see that when they come through to the checkout. And so when they've chosen their shipping option, it will then be the price gets added on. Whereas if the name and the description of your shipping options will appear on your product page and in your shop about us page, and so if you have the price in the title as well, then it just makes things a lot easier, so the customer knows what they're getting in for as well. So yeah, once you can set up multiple shipping options and have many available. You can also have them shipping to not just the UK but elsewhere as well. And I think there's quite an important thing to remember when you are setting up shipping options which ship to other places. And I think we find this quite a lot with the All Destinations button.
Okay, yeah, so that is the outside UK option. So what you want to do if you want to ship outside the UK, you basically just need to create a shipping option called, for example, Europe delivery or worldwide delivery, whatever the case may be. And then when you go into the shipping options screen, you'll go down and you'll see that there's an option within the details menu to choose outside the UK. So you can select whatever areas you want to ship to, whether it be all areas in the world or just certain areas like just Europe or whatever the case may be, and then just go from there. And the system is so intuitive that you can just click through and very quickly nail down exactly where you want to go, where you want this shipping option to go to. You can even go into the details of what countries you want to ship to. So it's really flexible and intuitive to use in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, so when you do get the choice of shipping to within the UK or outside the UK, and as you quite rightly say, you can choose. You can define exactly where within either the UK or the rest of the world that you want to ship to. And not only can you do that, but within one shipping option, if let's take shipping to outside the UK for an example. If you want to ship to Europe, but different places in Europe come under different costs, so you want to have Europe Zone 1, Europe Zone 2, just for examples of names, you can set those costs up in one shipping option. And what you can do, how you can do that is if you use the All Destinations button, which you'll find in the top of the rate table, it will bring you through to a pop-up window, and that will have all the different sort of postal areas in all the different areas of the world. So that will come up with Africa, Asia, America, Europe, all these different places. Let's just take Europe as an example. So with Europe, you've got the tick boxes there for all the different areas, and then you just need to tick the relevant ones or untick the ones that you don't want to include in a particular rate zone. Scroll back to the top of that pop-up window and then type in the name of that zone, and then right at the very, very top of the pop-up window, you've got add/edit rate zones. You click on that, it will give you the option to set up another zone. You can tick the next relevant places that are accompanied within the next price, encompassed rather, not accompanied, within the next price, and then you can set those up. And then when you come out of that, once you've saved that, you'll see that the rate table, where you can set the prices for your shipping, has 2 columns in it now, and these will be for the 2 different zones, and you can set the different prices based on how you are calculating the shipping. And that's the next thing we're sort of going to move on to, is how you want to calculate the costs. So when you come in to set up a new shipping option, you will be given the option to choose how you're going to want to calculate the costs of the shipping. And by default, it starts on box dimensions, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you see it's part of a drop-down menu, and within that drop-down menu, you have flat rate, box dimensions, box weight, order total, and order quantity. So this basically defines how you want your shipping costs to be calculated based on the order that the customer is making. So obviously flat rate would just be a standard flat rate. Simple as. Box dimensions, you'll be able to set up the parameters of the different sizes of boxes and how that will then become part of the cost.
Yeah, so with regard to the box dimensions, what it is, you set up tiers for the box dimensions. So you have, say, products which have dimensions up to 10 centimeters will be the first tier, and then 20 centimeters might be the next tier, and so on. And so you can define prices for each tier for the box dimensions. And then when it comes to creating products, you can give all your products their appropriate dimensions, and then everything will go into the correct tier when it comes to people actually purchasing on your store.
And this also applies to various other different ways of calculating the rates. So with the box weight, you can set up the tiers as well. It will just be done by the weight of the box rather than the size. Same with the order total and the order quantity as well. You just set those different tiers by setting the different ranges of cost or amount, anything like that. Again, this is something that you will have gone through with your MSA, doing these shipping options, and it is what you'll be able to find on our Academy page as well.
Yeah, a lot of people do get confused about the tier system. So if it's just like the box dimensions, for example, if you choose from 0 to 100 centimeters, for example, that might be a tier. People want to put 0 to 100 explicitly, but the thing to keep in mind is you're putting the ceiling limit in. You don't have to put both levels of the tier. So it's the same for all of those sorts of things. You just have to put the ceiling limit, and the system is smart enough to know when you create one tier that the next one up will start from where the last one finished.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's really the main thing to keep in mind with setting up how you want your rates to be calculated and where you're shipping them to. The final point really that we wanted to make in this podcast is when you come down to multiple product shipping. Now, a lot of people that I've seen have actually skipped over this. Not necessarily through any fault of their own, it's just something that's very easily skipped over. So by default, you'll find that the multiple product shipping options start on a way in which when someone orders one item from you, it will give them a shipping cost for that item. If they order a second item from you in the same order, it will then add on another shipping cost. Now that's the default setting. Some merchants will want to keep that, depending on what the item is. However, I think it's safe to say that most people would want one shipping cost to govern an entire order. I think that's fair to say that. And that's when you want to choose the second option, which is select the highest individual shipping fee out of all the products in the order. So if someone's ordering multiple products from you and some of them have different shipping options, because you can have certain shipping options that apply to certain items and not to other items, it will take the highest value one and just have that governing the entire order. And I think it's fair to say that most people are going to want to use that. The multiple product shipping options will change with every shipping option depending on how you want to calculate the rates by. And if you go through your account and just have a little play around with it, you'll see how they change, and you can see which is the best one for you to use. Quite recently, we've had a customer delivery preference section added in.
Yeah, it's only for UK orders, so it doesn't apply to ones where you're shipping abroad. So it is. I haven't actually had any merchants so far on my onboarding calls need this.
Yeah, me neither.
I think it's quite a rare thing for you to be able to dictate when products are delivered to the customer. But it's quite self-explanatory, really. You can either set it to yes or no. So you can either choose for it to be an option for the customer or not. So by clicking on yes, it's going to be an option. And then you can create a message to the customer. You can give dates when they're going to be available for delivery. And then you can give times. So basically you're creating slots that the customer can choose. It's a good idea if you have the functionality to use it. And you can also at the bottom choose whether a customer can choose more than one delivery time preference. But it's a new tool, like Callum says, so it's one of those things. If you can use it, then you can. If you can't use it, then don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I think that's the safe one to say. And obviously, as you quite rightly say, we haven't come across anyone who's really used it yet. But the fact that it's an option, I think, is quite good. So if you do want to use it, that's great. Go ahead and use it. Ask your MSA about it. They'll be able to explain it in more detail. But it's not something we're really going to cover today because it is quite new, and maybe it's something we'll shed a bit more light on in a later podcast. But I think that's really it for now. I think that's the main points that we have to cover off with the shipping options. I don't think there's anything more that we really need to cover because most of it, as I say, will be covered through with your MSA in your onboarding call. And then don't forget, like I said at the beginning, you do have the Academy page, the Academy website to go to for full guides and full descriptions of how all the functionality of your merchant toolbox does work. As I always say, we would love to hear from you about this podcast and what you'd like to hear in the future. In fact, on Rakuten in general, anything you want to hear from us, we'd like to see it, and we'd like to see if we can act on it and take things into consideration. So just leave a comment down in the comment section, and also like the video and subscribe as well, because then you'll be able to get updates through your YouTube account directly. And you'll be able to see when the next podcast comes out and any other videos that we're going to put up on here, because it's all to support our Academy page, and it's all to make sure that you have a better experience with Rakuten, really. So thank you very much for joining us today. There'll be another podcast later on this week as well, and that one will be about shop categories. So my name's Callum. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been joined by Luke.
Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem at all. I'm sure we'll get you back in another one as well. But until then, happy trading, and we'll speak to you very soon. Thank you.